want it, you can't hold me back. See, I live like
Yo, it's your boy HipHopGamer. I have the legendary and also someone I consider a friend, my man David Jaffe, man. Like, this is my dude for life. He's hood, he's smart, he's a family man, and yo, he's blessed, man. I'm honored to talk to you, man. So, David, say what's up to all the HipHopGamer fans out there.
How you guys doing? I have to take issue though. I'll take 3 out of 4. I definitely am blessed. I'm a family man. I'll take smart. I don't think I'm hood. I did go to ST, which was right in South Central. So maybe by proximity, I have a little hood, but that's about it.
All right, cool. Well, I got your back, so you straight.
Hey, that's great. Let's do it.
Oh man, so
let's go down there and stir some trouble. That sounds like fun.
Alright, I'm with that. So check this out. Alright, first off, man, I just want to say congratulations, man. You've been doing so much and working so hard, and sometimes things work out great, sometimes things don't, but your energy and your passion for this industry and to create games, yo, it's unparalleled, man. Seriously. So first things first, man. Where did the idea and the inspiration come to create this new company? And tell us a little bit about the new game that you guys are working on right now.
Well, the game, as you probably would expect. I mean, it's early and it's very secretive, and we're not really allowed to talk about what it is yet. I will say that if you were a fan of God of War, if you were a fan of Twisted Metal in terms of sort of the worlds and the fiction and that kind of experience in terms of the pace and the sensibility, I think that's very similar or very much in the spirit of what we're doing, although it's a totally different kind of game. So we can't really get into specifics about sort of genre or IP or anything yet. It's just, we were out in the world with it for a long time, looking for the right partner. And once we found the right partner, part of the deal was to say, okay, let's announce this to gamers, when we feel it's going to be the best possible time. And when that is, we're not sure yet. But in terms of the company, the company is named after, we sort of have a co-founder. So we do 2 things here. It's called the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency. And so Bartlett is Nick Pinellas, who I worked with at Sony, and I were talking, a year ago about forming this company, and then we met up with Bartlett really by accident. And he really brings a lot of it. He does all the supernatural stuff and the ghost hunting and all that. And I don't know if I believe that stuff or not, but some of the shit I've seen that he's shown since we met him has been just absolutely crazy. So I don't know. My mind is open. I've always been agnostic to this stuff, and so I think it's really, really cool. But anyway, so he came in as a partner, and he's funding a bunch of the development with us, as well as our, actual publishing partner. And so we do both. He's actually, he just got back from Memphis. He's going down to South America for a couple of months, and he's doing all of that stuff. He's doing the ghost hunting and the supernatural stuff, and where he's doing game development.
That is insane. Like, that whole breakdown sounds crazy. I can only imagine, like, I know you're like a kid at a candy store right now, like, running wild with your mind, man.
Well, it's crazy, because what's really, next time you're in Southern California, you gotta swing by the office, because the stuff he has brought, from his life and his adventures, and so it's really cool to have all, to be surrounded by the video game stuff. But then, you go into the conference room, and our table is basically the door that he used in this farmhouse when he performed his very first exorcism. So it's just, it's like to be surrounded by this shit all day long. It's really cool, because I always loved this stuff, just as a fan of it.
Yo, that's crazy. Well, from the sound of everything, it sounds like to me, I know you can't disclose this, but it sounds like to me that you maybe taking your step into the horror world, or the survival horror genre, so to speak.
You and others will see when we launch the game. It has and I'm so okay. People are like, well, Jaffe, you kind of did the Twisted Metal live, so why should we believe? I don't care if you fucking believe me or not. Wait till the game. All I care about is if when our game comes out, that you have a good time. That's all I really ever care about. So, but in terms of people speculating that we're doing horror, there's nothing about this game that is. It's not in the world of Silent Hill or Resident Evil or any of that stuff. But I know people are like, I don't fucking believe you. I'm like, what?
All right, don't believe me then. I got you. So, like, let me ask you this. I think this is a real important question. Would you consider this, because I'm not sure, how big of a funding, you guys have to do this, but is this something that you consider that's going to be like a AAA type of title with a AAA type of budget, or, like how did that all come about? Because, don't forget, you're David Jaffe, you know what I'm saying? So don't forget that. So I can see, companies heavily investing in your idea.
Well, I have so many responses to that question because I think there has been so much progress and movement on the front of not just I like the term and I like indie games, but I don't just mean sort of artistic games, but the idea of different distribution models have allowed for a number of successes in the last year or so.
David, you there?
90 million bucks. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, cut out for a second, but you can say repeat that.
Yeah. So basically, what I'll say is it's like if there was a time in my career where I was really interested in really small kind of nugget gameplay like calling all cars and inspired by things like NBA Jam and Geometry Wars. That is not this at all. We are definitely moving into a brand new IP. And we'd like to think there's a number of places and a number of genres in interactive entertainment that we can explore this. And so over time, I absolutely see it potentially, or having the potential to be sort of the biggest brand and IP and story and universe that we've ever worked on. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're coming out of the gate in the universe with a really, really fun game. It's much bigger than sort of a small little, like calling all cars title or sort of like old school PSN title. But I can't say much more.
Now I understand.
Yeah, but it definitely will scratch the itch of people who are looking for, A grade gameplay is always first and foremost, and then it's a real cool world with a real cool story and cool characters, and I think people who like the stuff we've worked on before are gonna be real jazzed by it.
All right. Now,
which is a horrible answer because I just pretty much told you nothing.
Well, let me tell you something, David. Like I'm a journalist, man, so I'm trained. I train myself to hear things even when other people don't.
No, that's a shitty fucking answer. But I mean, I can't. I'd love to share it with you and show you early on, and we're documenting a bunch of the stuff on the chance that we have a successful game that people care about. We can show them, the development of it. But it's just one of those things that we gotta wait before we get to kind of show the world. So
yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for you, man. This is going to be crazy. I know it. So now, one of the big questions that especially a lot of my viewers, wanted to know is now that you're working, on this title and, you got that freedom to really do what you want to do and express yourself in a whole new way. There's also a new generation coming to us now with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. There's Steam machines out there now. It's all types of stuff. I mean, just as a gamer, not as a developer at this moment, not for this question, not as a developer, but just as a gamer, as someone that still go to the store and pick up a game and just love the culture of gaming. Which system, I guess, is attracting you more, or got your eyes open a bit more, or do both systems between PS4 and Xbox One, got the same love from you at this point? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
It's so, it's one of those questions that's, I'm in a privileged position, and a lot of people in my industry are in a privileged position. I guess anybody really working is in a privileged position who has leisure dollars. I mean, for me, there's very little emotion tied to it because I'm going to get both. And if Steambox comes out, I'm getting that. And I have an Ouya right now just to play Dragon Towers or Battle Towers or whatever. If I could find one, I just can't find one, right? So. So for me, they all have pros and cons, and they all have things I'm really excited about. I mean, if you look at Sony and their first party is, I know Microsoft is looking to come on strong this generation with first party, but so far and for a very long time, Sony really has stepped into that. And I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy, so I'm not disrespecting Nintendo, but Sony has really stepped into that sort of first party vacuum that they allowed to occur and really just consistently putting out amazing titles over the last 3 generations. And so obviously, you got to have a PS4 because you want to play those exclusives that you're only going to get there. But no, I think the Xbox, if Titanfall doesn't hit PS4, I'm super crazy excited for that. I'm excited to see, down the road, what, if there's any Gears of War on Xbox and stuff. So, and then they showed that thing at E3 with the guys from Remedy where the guy stops time. It's kind of
the Quantum Break. That looked crazy.
that looks really cool. But my favorite games the last couple of months have all been on Steam. I loved the shit out of Gone Home. I thought that was fantastic.
Wow.
I thought it was really just a needle moving game when it comes to sort of the medium. I thought Volgar the Viking on Steam is really probably the game I've spent the most time on in the last month. It's just super old school Rastan hack and slash, extremely challenging but fair. And I mean, sometimes it takes you like an hour and a half just to make 2 screens worth of side-scrolling progress, but it feels so fucking good. It's great. So I'm pretty game console agnostic. I can afford it, and I appreciate that I have that luxury. I appreciate that not everyone does, and so I know that it's more of a heated discussion for a lot of people who really are only going to kind of put their money behind one of them. But for me, I just can't relate to that because I love games in general, and so I'm going to get everything I can afford that's going to let me continue to sort of experience interactivity.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Now, I love that. Now, from a developer standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's something that I think is like the X factor of what's coming up, with this next generation and stuff like that. Now, from a developer standpoint, right? What I want to ask you is, would it be safe to say that David Jaffe's talents would be, across both platforms, or has someone, whether Microsoft or Sony, have someone approach you saying, hey, we want to see what you got because, we know what your capabilities of, and we may need to have this exclusively on our platform?